Hi, Rhys.
How are you doing, Pastor Dave? You okay?
Well, well,
I sit here by the grace of God. The Lord has never let me down. And whatever happens, whenever we do fail or make mistakes, God is always there and He's faithful. I've come to know. He just says, keep coming. He doesn't push you away. He doesn't want you to give up. He doesn't want you to think, that's it, now I've blown it. The Lord, He's my Father. He's been so faithful and so good. He says, just keep coming back. There's mercy, there's grace, unlimited resources of mercy and grace and love. And in coming back to God, the idea is he always sets to teach us from our mistakes. And obviously, like any loving father, he brings like correction and discipline into our lives, but in a loving way. And it can seem tough at times, but I know from my 20 years experience of walking with the Lord, and I have gone off track a few times, majorly just like 3 years ago, I had a relapse into drug addiction and in my mental health. I had a crazy 9 months, and again, I cried out to the Lord at my wit's end in a really dark place. I had lost everything, and instantly the Lord answered me and made a way for me to be on the pathway of becoming refocused upon him and sorting my life out. And I'm still in that process now of recovery, of having turned, and I make mistakes, I get it wrong. I've had some issues with my mental health even just recently, and had a little bit of a I don't want to major on it too much, I had a little bit of a meltdown, but I thank the Lord. He's brought he's always there. He comforts by his Spirit, and he brings the right people. His people come into my life, yourself being one of them, and your family and the church. And you know, there's a lot of church folk I know in the area where I'm living right now, and God brings the right people to bring comfort, to bring that support by way of prayer, fellowship, just moral support, encouragement, and we have his word, and you know, I just thank the Lord for he's been so good to me. Like I said, I sit here purely by his grace. I want to testify to the goodness of God and the faithfulness of God. But even in I fall short. I make mistakes. I get it wrong. I sin. And I have my mishaps. And I hit some bumps in the road. You know, I miss some bends and corners and come off and hit the wall. I fail at temptation. I get distracted. Sometimes I get confused and overwhelmed sometimes in the trial and the testing. But I know he means it for good. And I know there's always lessons to be learnt. And he always and never fails to bring me through. And if at first you don't succeed, brush it off. Pick yourself up and try again. But by God's grace, he enables us to pick ourselves up. And I'd just like to encourage anyone out there who will be listening to this, if you have taken a fall, or you're finding yourself without strength, you feel that you failed, or you failed God, and you're down in the dust, God will allow for you to take that rest and to recuperate. But he's there to comfort you in that when you're down there, to watch over you, to protect you. and he will help you back up. And when you arise and believe God to help you back up, call on his name, trust in him, believe his promises, and as he's helping you back up, I'm in a process of getting back up now. And any times I've had any experience in the past of getting back up after a fall or a difficult time where I felt, I've maybe gone down rather than up, I've always found that I arise, and when I do get back up, I have something that I didn't have before, which is of value in myself, in my person, in my character, but something to pass on to somebody else, something that has eternal significance and value for the glory of God. And we did some teaching from the book of Ephesians, but something that would be useful for the equipping, the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry,